All right, we're back again. I'm Mr. J. We are live, the Underground Experience. Tonight's artist is John Jiggs. He will be coming on directly. Of course, check out www.empiremusic.com. That's Empire Music spelled musiq.com. Check out the Underground Experience Funder for the documentary. Tap into that as well as our merch section and our promo section that we have up on the website for all artists and businesses who need promo and need advertising on our WDRB media show. Of course, that airs every Friday night at 8:45 on WDRB Media. We're also looking to expand to some other outlets, but we will be getting into that later on. Of course, we're getting ready to get John Jiggs in right now. Should be coming on in just a second. Like I said, check everything out on the site. What's
Yo,
going on, man?
yo, what's the deal?
Of course, I'm Mr. J. This is the Underground Experience. Um, on this platform, we basically give people a chance to tell their story, talk about, how they got started,
Mhm.
and give a little history about what they have started, how they started, and where they're going, and what they have going on in the future. Um,
Mm.
so just, break down your name and how you got it and how you got started in the game.
Okay, so I go by the name of John Jiggs, man. I represent Long Island, New York. You know what I mean? And I've been doing this hip hop things probably since I probably wrote my first rap when I was like maybe 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but grew up on Long Island. You know what I mean? On the east end of Long Island, a town called Riverhead. And out there we had like a little hip hop scene, and I was part of a group for about 10 years called the 495 Boys. We were like really hot, like regionally. You know what I'm saying? Performed probably about every venue there, pretty much every venue on Long Island, really. You know what I mean? And once I started to become a man, like I just wanted to do more, so I started to travel a lot more and do more hip hop and moving closer to New York City because growing if you're doing hip hop on Long Island, you gotta get the New York City coastline. Like that's what I'm saying. So you know what I mean, moving closer to that scene and you know now I'm down here in Atlanta, but I mean over the years, man, I've been able to do a lot of really really dope things as far as the hip hop goes, just traveling and um, I've been overseas like about 5 or 6 times now. You know what I'm saying? Probably touched almost every state, you know what I'm saying, performing and promoting the music and doing things like that. Work with, a lot of legends, got a chance to work with a lot of legends. Shout out to PMD from EPMD, Biz Markie, Granddaddy IU, Shabam Sadiq, you know what I'm saying? Me and Shabam actually got a whole album together. You know what I'm saying? Granddaddy IU was probably like my mentor. You know, he's the one that my manager, him and my manager both, but like definitely Granddaddy IU. He just put a lot of good shit into me. You know what I'm saying? And gave me a lot of good jewels to push me in the right directions. You know what I'm saying? Help and when he passed away, that was a hit, but I kind of took it as like a challenge, you know. Um, to just go even harder because he was the one that was always rooting for me. So that's pretty much it. I know I probably was going off a little bit, but it's just real talk about my experiences, man. Hip hop is taking me everywhere.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and try to drill down on some of that. As far as your, you said you started out, in a group. What was your influences trying to, start, just starting writing and
Mm.
get before you really got into the group?
So I was so my brother, so my older brother. So I grew. So the thing is, I grew up in Long Island, but I'm back and forth to the Bronx because my brother and sister is there, so I'm there on the weekends. I'm there a lot, you know what I'm saying? So like Gun Hill section, like Laconia, around Laconia Avenue, that area, you know what I'm saying? I'm growing up there. My brother's a lot older than me. He's a DJ, so from a very young age, he's exposing me to, Public Enemy, Cool G Rap and DJ Polo. Um, you know what I mean, Gangstar, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because this is all he's doing. He's DJing in his room all day. And I'm just the little one sitting there, you know? So he really he's the one that really put the battery in my back. But then like when I ain't gonna front, when I think it was probably like 92, 93, when I seen Crisscross, then I was like, oh, okay. Because they were kids, I was probably about the same age as them. So when I seen them doing it, and then on top of that being successful doing it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So I started writing my own raps, you know what I'm saying? But as far then when I became a little older and I started listening to music, it was like Jay-Z, Nas, Capone Noriega, Mobb Deep, you know what I'm saying? All the Queensbridge rap, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Definitely Tupac, West Coast, Snoop Dogg, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And just but I listen to music from everywhere. So even like UGK, you know what I'm saying, Outkast and Dungeon Family, and I'm hip to all of that. Always been that way. I'm a big fan of regional hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of artists that maybe you and I never even heard of, but there's a legend in every city in every town. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You know, so.
definitely. So, when you started writing, what was your writing process like?
Um, Well, I've always been a writer, you know what I'm saying? And then, freestyle developed freestyle skills over the years, you know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, the more you become like more of a serious artist, you know what I'm saying? It's more, the focus is more on your pen, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, I just like the thing about it is, man, the best songs, my best songs, they write themselves. It's almost like second nature. Like when I hear that beat, that certain beat that speaks to me in a certain way, I'm already rapping and making the song before I'm even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it just comes to you. It's like more like a feeling. So um, that's pretty much the process. And then I mean, as far as just like bar work, man, I just what I'm saying. I like to do a lot of my work right on the spot too, like in the studio. Like, I'm famous for that. You holler at me, we do business, I give a feature. I'll pull up right to your session and just do it right there. 30 minutes, we out of there. You know what I'm saying? But I just this hip hop thing, and to be honest with you, I can't even imagine my life without it.
Definitely, definitely. Um, and you said, 30 minutes, is that kind of your process to kind of write a whole song when you kind of figure out what beats you like or what beat kind of catches you?
Yeah, it's just what catches me and what what I'm saying, what I know I could I pick beats that I know I can be effective on. You know what I'm saying? Because you always want to like I like to I always want to put you. Every song is supposed to put you in a mood or you know what I'm saying, put you in a certain state of mind. So that's what I'm. You know what I mean? I'm looking for that, and I pride myself on being very picky with even with production. You know what I'm saying? Like I sit there with a producer and listen to 100 beats before I hear the one. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of the way it is.
Do you have certain producers, kind of in your camp or certain people you go back to? Or,
Well, shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother Nam Nitty. You know what I'm saying? We like, what I'm saying, like one and two. So that's one of the in-house producers, and he's also a rapper too. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing right now. So my brother Nam Nitty, K Slugger. You know what I'm saying? I just put out something with Free Huey. I just put out something with Butter Knife Haircuts. You know, Suave is my guy. Like, this definitely, I got good relationships with a lot of really dope producers. You know what I mean? Shout out to, you know, the legendary Easy LP. Me and him are actually working together now, trying to wrap up this album and shit, you know? So, like, you know what I mean? Producers are, you know what I mean? Producers are key, you know? But they'll all tell you that I'm very picky.
And what, kind of stands out? What kind of sounds stand out? Do you like joints with kind of slow soul samples, or
Yeah,
up tempos, or
I do like soul samples. You know what I'm saying? I've been, you know, it's just the thing is it's hard for me to put like a label on it, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just whatever it feels right, you know? Pretty much.
and the first time you kind of finished the track and was able to kind of hear it, were you able to hear it on the radio or whatever? Or
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I've definitely heard some of my stuff on the radio, things like that. I mean, probably the first time I was able to go, you know, I don't even remember the first time I ever actually recorded. It was probably a freestyle over somebody else's beat or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I remember, you know, some of that music I still have. Like, I'm talking way, way, way back in the day. Like, you know, just little mixtapes around the hood type shit. I still got some of that stuff, you know.
what was your first, feeling when you first heard yourself on the radio?
Nah, you know, it's amazing, man. I mean, you know, there was the radio thing. My sorry about that. My my first moment, probably a first moment that was bigger for me was like the first time like I actually did a show or something, like got to travel, got paid for a show, or you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I mean, in underground hip hop, it's not necessarily we're not always rocking with the radio, especially not mainstream radio. You know what I'm saying? You don't tend to hear, you know what I'm saying, certain types of hip hop on mainstream radio. But I have had records like I had a record back in probably like around 2020, 2019 called Every Day, produced by Street Runner. You know what I'm saying? And that project right there, that song right there, that really that took me far. That took me like different places. I got to experience what it was like kind of to be like, you know, more on a mainstream level or whatever for a little bit. And that shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? Um it's just you know, the thing about it is about the mainstream game is like it's a slippery slope, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? You become super popular and it's like a lot easier for them to just throw you away after a few months. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the hip hop space is a little bit the underground hip hop space is a little bit more stable in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah,
you can maintain a long career. You know, you could either get a quick buck in the mainstream or you could play the long game in the underground. You feel me? Uh, so I chose the latter. You know what I'm saying?
definitely. So as far as just putting things together, how do you feel like the evolution from the time you started to now? How's that area changed? You know what I'm saying, as far as like where you started.
Well, I think that now, you know what I'm saying, having been seasoned and been doing this for a long time, I think I'm definitely like a little bit more open to like trying new sounds and trying doing new melodies and things like that. And you know what I'm saying, just experimenting with different stuff. Nothing that's too far outside of my character, you know what I'm saying, but definitely, you know what I'm saying, I you know, cuz I mean, I got 13 albums, 3 EPs, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of singles, probably over 50, 60 music videos out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes it gets, you know, you want to try new stuff just to kind of challenge yourself and see if you could do it and see how people respond to it, you know? So you could definitely look for that too on these upcoming projects that I'm working on. You know, I'm always willing to try different things musically, you know, and probably show people some talents that they didn't even really know that I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. Um, he talked about Granddaddy IU, and how he was a big influence on what you've done. Um, Were you able to get some of the stuff on his show when he was doing it? I know I tried to send some stuff up there, but around the
Yeah,
time that was happening, he kind of transitioned
that's
away.
when he
So
started. That's when he, yeah, that's when he started to get sick. Yeah. Now he that's what I'm saying. That's what IU when he got that once he got that situation on his desk. I was like probably one of the first people he reached out to like, yo, send me this, send me that. You know what I'm saying? Send me the shit, nigga. And you know, if you go back and look on my Instagram, it was, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother. Shout out to Shorty Shy. Shout out to Khalil too, his brother. You know what I'm saying? His daughter. You know what I mean? Respect to the family. You know what I mean? But yeah,
definitely,
Granddaddy IU was major influence, man. Major influence on me. You know what I'm saying? He definitely, you know, we used to have those real talks, those, you know, late night drunk talks, you know what I'm saying, where we would really where you know, you trim the fat and you really, you know, get to the meat and potatoes. And he was really just telling me, you know, telling me about his experiences and just dropping jewels on me and telling me how much what he sees, you know, like what he sees in me. You know what I'm saying? What he feels like my potential is and shit. And that shit is golden, man. That shit got me, you know what I mean? That shit got me here. A lot of that shit got me here. And shout out to my manager because shout out to my manager because you know he was my manager Digital. He was like the hip hop director at WUSB at Stony Brook University. One of the you know that's like the underground hip college radio spot you stop at when you in Long Island. You know, so one of the main ones. And he had what he did was he booked me for an interview when I was first starting out, and he booked IU the same day. So I got interviewed before IU, and then when I had come done with my interview, they was playing my music. You know how they go through a few joints, and IU was there sitting in the lobby listening, and he was like, "Yo, that's you?" I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Yo, that shit fire, nigga." He's like, "Yo, let me give you my number." Yada yada yada. So from there, you know, that was after I had just released my first project, Drugs, my first solo project, and that was like 2013, 2014, and you know, we kept in touch, and by the time I was putting out Drugs too, he had he had sent me some beats. He produced two records on there, and then he did a verse. We got a record called Long Island Fresh together, and he did that for me, and then we just built from there. We just spent a lot of time together, hang out. You know what I'm saying? And just like not even just like on some rap shit, like just like go places and do shit. You know what I'm saying? But he was a good nigga, man. He was somebody I could always count on to keep it real with me, like no matter what. Like he gonna like I you know what I'm saying? If I want to really know if this song I just did is dope, I could send it to IU. I know he gonna be honest with me. You know? So he's great. He's missed, man, but I know he up there watching. You know what I mean? Rest in peace.
definitely rest in peace.
Yeah.
Legendary
Hmm.
MC, legendary artist. And you said something about some of the songs or one of the songs that kind of opened the doors for you to start traveling. What was some of the first places you started to go? Outside of the Long Island area.
Oh, so I mean, in the beginning, it's if you're in the tri-state, it's New York, it's it's New York, it's Philly, you know what I'm saying? And you start hitting play spots in Jersey, shit like that. We did all of that. DMV, we did all of that. You know what I'm saying? When I was in my early, you know what I'm saying, trying to get it together and trying to figure it out, trying to get my name out there. Um, and then I think I want to say the first tour I ever went on was actually shout out to Nature from the firm. Shout out to Nate. That's my nigga, 98 Nate. Um, he's actually the first person. Him and Type L. Shout out to my brother Type L too. Um, they was the first ones to actually take me out on tour, and I think we did I think we did New York, New Jersey. Then we hit Virginia, North Carolina, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like a little short run, like a four day run, something like that. And I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then, from there, it was just, you know what I mean? Like I'll say every year since about 2018, the first time I went over like overseas. Um, and then I think I took probably 2 years off for the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, You know what I'm saying? Every year we've been like United Kingdom or Europe or whatever, man. It's just a dope experience, man. We've been traveling, man, doing a lot of dope shit.
What did you learn from that kind of first run? As far as like performing and putting your sets together, things like that.
Well, that first run, I mean, at that first run, I probably was just getting like a couple verses or something like that on stage. It wasn't even where I had a chance to put together my own set or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But once I started to do my own tours, man, it's different. See, that's the thing. I was, what I'm saying, I was getting having niggas look out for me and give me a spot, whatever. But once you got to put together, it's a different thing now when you got to put together 30-minute set, 40-minute set, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to really make a production. So like, what I mean? That's something I definitely had to adjust to. But like, that's why I've been like, so, I mean, I've always been a bigger dude, but I've been like more conscious of like making sure I go to the gym and watch what I eat and shit like that because it's a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work being out there on stage and traveling and being this city, that city. It can have a lot of toll on the body, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not, we all fuck up every now and then, but I, what I'm saying, I try to do the best that I can, you know what I mean? Or
Definitely. And when you first started putting your sets together, you know, what did you kind of try to tie together to kind of you know get you through, or was there certain songs that you knew you had to put into your sets to kind of you know
yeah, well, I'm always keeping in mind like what's the fan favorites. Like, there's a couple records I have that I know that if you're a fan of John Jiggs, you definitely gonna want to see me do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do that. But then I'm also, if I'm promoting a new album, I might start off the show with some new records, and then I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want. Give y'all the shit that y'all already know and love. You know what I'm saying? Usually that's what I do. But the thing is, you want to take people on a ride. Like I go to concerts every now and then, and that's what I like when they, you may start calm, or you may start, what I'm saying, they hype you up, and then maybe they'll bring you down again, and you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
So like I think that that's dope because a concert and show or whatever is supposed to be like an experience. So what I mean, I usually rock with a hype man, and we have a whole thing set up, man, and we like to do a lot of interaction with the crowd too. I think that's important, man. But it's a lost art, you know what I'm saying? Um, people want to feel like even though it's a bunch of people there, and it's a show, they want to feel like, all right, like they want to feel like they know you after they left that show. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Word.
And have you felt like the crowd, the intensity and just the whole vibe um, is different from the states to overseas?
Um, it can. I mean, it can be. I think that. I mean, overseas, I think they're a little bit more like appreciative of it. You know what I'm saying? That you're coming there to do that because maybe they don't have quite as much access to it as we do. You know what I'm saying? I think in the States we're used to just being able to like go to hip hop shit. Like, if you live in the inner city, you could probably go to like a show, or you can go out and hear some hip hop music probably on damn near every night of the week, at least 4 nights out of the week. You could probably go somewhere and go to a show or go to but I feel like over there it's not the case, so they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't they take it more, they treat it more precious. You know what I'm saying? Like it's,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And I think that, but at the same time, there's certain places in the states where, shit, you know what I mean? Shit, you can get shit off the chain. So it just depends on your show, man, and how much energy you giving them. Cause that's my thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be I don't be having bad shows because I'm like, y'all gonna give me, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all this energy, y'all gonna give it back. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it is what it is, and you know what I mean. I treat them all the same. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere I go, you know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, when you traveling and you traveling days and days and days in a row, like sometimes it just feel like it's all the same thing anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because you you know what I mean. So, you've been so many places, so but I like I said, I treat it the same, you know what I'm saying? Like whether I'm over there, over here, you know what I'm saying? it's just about you got to go where they love you, man. You know what I'm saying? Real.
Definitely, definitely. Speaking of that, is there um, any of those venues, that are some of your favorites to perform at?
Well, I did SOBs like a few times. SOBs is definitely dope, but they need to get rid of. But they need some cordless mics though. But SOBs is still dope though. Amityville Music Hall on Long Island is dope as hell. Um, I done I did Amway Center back in like 2020, right at the beginning of 2020 when they had um what you call it it was Mayweather's it was like a celebrity basketball game. I
Mhm.
performed at halftime at that, so I got to actually do Amway Center. But it was basically it was like when COVID was like first starting to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How about the overseas venues? What are some of the favorites overseas?
Overseas. So the last time we went, I would say probably the nicest venue that we did was there was a place called Patronaut in Harlem. So it was right outside of Amsterdam. It was a place called Harlem. It's Harlem, but it's spelled with two A's. And yeah, um, this place called Patronaut. Really nice venue. Really nice venue. You know what I'm saying? And there's been some, you know what I'm saying? I've done I know I know I did what was that? Another one of the big venues is I think maybe Roseland Ballroom with PMD before, you know what I'm saying? Bigger venues like that. When I was with the 495 boys, probably like the early 2000s, I know we did Nassau Coliseum before too, opening up for somebody years ago. That was cool too.
So, as far as putting things together, how long does it take you kind of put the tours together, or you got somebody else kind of on your team just really working to make sure you can get into these spaces?
Yeah, I mean, me and my team, we work together, man. You know what I'm saying? And we've been able to do good business over the years. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. We just work together, man. My job is to keep the lights on and keep the buzz going and keep people interested in the music. You know what I'm saying? And keep putting out dope music. So, you know what I'm saying? And then we work together as far as put connecting the dots and making things happen. You know?
How well do you feel like you've been able to do that in this space? We see kind of a boom bap era kind of sound kind of coming back around a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, uh, Not necessarily displacing a lot of the trap era stuff, but
Yeah.
it is starting to bubble up a little bit more, especially with some of the OGs being able to come out. How do you feel like everything's kind of moving as far as the culture?
I think we definitely moving in the right direction. I think people are starting to become more interested in what a person is actually saying on these records. You know what I'm saying? I think that with the rise of underground hip hop and even on a mainstream level, you know what I'm saying, when Kendrick is doing what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? I think that people are looking for something a little bit more than just like kind of like a surface level kind of point of view. You know what I'm saying? I think people are looking for something I mean, when there's a time and a place for everything. So in certain settings, that other music, that different types of music is more suitable. You know what I mean? But I think we had gotten to a point where we were a little bit too consumed with the goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need some of the goofy shit, but I think there needs to be a good balance. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I think that just the listeners need to be able to choose whether they want. It seemed like they were only being able to choose from one thing. So now, I feel like the playing field is starting to level. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Say it that way. And I think that's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? You see underground artists getting shine. I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope as hell. And I want to see more of it. You know?
Yeah, I think we definitely need to return to kind of the balance of
Yeah,
the game and lyrics and things of that nature. Being able to hear, all kinds of different artists.
yeah.
Um,
I'm saying everything needs to just coexist. I'm not saying get rid of one thing or get rid of this or get rid of that. I'm saying everything needs to coexist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I think it's been difficult. It's kind of changed up since, you don't have traditional outlets anymore. You got people are kind of having to search on their own. Like you said
Yeah.
earlier, those types of music isn't always heard on commercial radio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, just the thing is, this this underground shit, this boom bap shit, this bar shit, whatever you want to call it, this lyrical shit, it needs to get that same platform. You know what I'm saying? That as the other shit too. I think both of them can coexist. You know what I mean? Pretty much.
No doubt. And as far as like, you know, what is exactly your subject matter? When you're kind of looking to put songs together.
Yeah. I talk about. I talk about my life. I talk about experiences. I talk about stuff I seen other people go through. I just anything that really strikes a chord with me. You know what I'm saying? I'll eventually get around to creating, taking you into that, to that mind state, or just bringing you into that thought. Um, anything, whatever I see that makes me, think, inspiration comes from all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So. But I definitely I'd like to take life experiences or maybe experiences how they made me feel or whatever and put that into the music because I feel like if I'm going through it, then maybe there's probably somebody else that's going through it too. So if I could give them a little bit of insight or whatever or anything, just if I could give them a song that they could call their own, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for.
And as far as putting actual albums and projects together, what's your mindset? Do you come up with the theme of the album first,
Yeah.
or
Now, a lot of times, I absolutely will come up with a thing. Will come up with a theme first, like a direction I want to go, and what I'm saying. These stories they write themselves. If you go through my catalog, from Twin Cannons to Revolvers to Twin Cannons to Grand Royale to what I'm saying. All these different. It's all it's all that they all tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Even the Teflon John EP and all these other albums, they all tell a story. So I feel like that's important, man. But it's important to every time you get an album from me, it's gonna be a new experience, a different experience. You know, that's why I like doing projects with one producer because it's very when you're with one producer, it's very easy to like drive a point home. You know.
no doubt. And let's talk about your transition from you know moving from Long Island to Atlanta. How did that all come together?
Well, I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was time for a change, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been in New York my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And I just, it was a good opportunity for me and my family and everybody to be able to just get a kind of like a fresh start. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And that's what we did, man. And I've been down here for about 5 years now, probably like 5.5 years. You know what I'm saying? We just purchased our home. You know what I'm saying? We doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful, man. I think it's a good decision that I made.
Definitely, that's a blessing.
Right.
Have you been kind of able to go out and kind of check out the venues there and you know
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I've done a couple of done some shows out here. Like I know I've done Old Smith's Bar here in Atlanta. a couple other venues. You know what I'm saying, down here in Atlanta. Uh, yeah, looking, but definitely looking to do more. But like when R-Rated Rugged Man came here, he brought me out. You know, when my bro Afro comes to town, I always tap in with him. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I always try. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is like, I mean, it would be cool to be here performing, but you know what I'm saying? I never worry. You know, I always worry about who trying to book me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you know. So I'm always in and out. I mean, I got back from Europe last month, so I just been like trying to kind of just settle in the new crib and enjoy this and get a hold on this. You know, my first time really doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to, focus on that, and I'm probably going to get back out on the road sometime this summer. I already got a couple of confirmed dates, so I'm just trying to put together a nice little run again. But it'll definitely be this summer. I'll be back out there. But I just been chilling, enjoying, uh, enjoying life, and been spending time with my family and shit like that for probably the past month, a month and a half.
And does the whole family situation just kind of give you, really kind of center you and give you a chance to kind of just kind of decompress from everything that's going on? It's
Yeah, yeah, nah, it's they really they really, I don't know whether they know it or not, but that's really the inspiration. Like, a lot of people be like, yo, how do you do this? How do you keep this level of output going? How do you keep all this stuff going? And it's like, yo, I got people depending on me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a job. This is a job. You know what I'm saying? And that's really how I treat it. But like I said, I don't want to. The thing about it is, you could get so caught up in your work that you could miss important moments and shit like that, and family, and just, like you
yeah,
could work so hard trying to take care of your family that you could lose it. So like, I'll be on some like, I'll go hard for some months and then fall back for a couple months. You know what I'm saying? And just just work like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nah, it's definitely time for me to probably, like I said, this summer, really get back on the road, and I'm gonna do a U.S. run, and then probably we'll go back overseas again before the end of the year. Or
no doubt. So as far as like the difference, how do you feel that the difference is between New York and Atlanta as far as what you've been able to check out from the scene in these different venues?
well, I mean, there's definitely more. Obviously, there's more venues in New York City where you can hear hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You can hear. I mean, the thing is like where you can hear like traditional hip hop, I should say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But you know, but Atlanta definitely has a boom bap pocket. They got a pocket for everything. This is a major city, so it's a lot going on here. You could definitely, whatever you're looking for, you could definitely find it as far as like entertainment or music or just a certain circle or whatever. So I'm thankful for that. But like I said, the pandemic, even though Atlanta didn't change, it was still like it was still limited. You know what I'm saying? So we, those couple of years kind of set us back a little bit, and it's definitely set me back with networking and things like that after I had just come here. But I'm definitely making up for it now. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, I move around the right people in the city. You know what I'm saying? If I say that.
that's what's up. There's some Rex. I believe Rex is also down. If you're familiar with Rex, I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
also
No, we
down
got.
there.
Yeah, no, me and Rex got a classic record together. The Reason. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I interviewed him not too long ago. Probably the beginning of the year.
Nah,
So
he's dope. I think we
yeah,
we had a show last summer together too here in Atlanta. Actually, yeah, yeah,
yeah. So it's definitely some cats down there doing their thing.
yeah,
Um, and you kind of delved into a little bit of COVID. You know what I mean? How did it kind of set you back in other ways? You know what I'm saying? As far as like what you were able to do and what you weren't able to do during that time.
yeah. Yeah. Nah, just you niggas was stuck in the crib. You just stuck stuck in the crib. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely. I mean, like I said, Atlanta was a little different. I don't think it shut down. I don't think Atlanta shut down as much as like other places did. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, like it was just like you know, it wasn't really much going on. And then even if you could, you really didn't want to because they had us scared to death. You know? So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people got sick and a lot of things went on during that
right,
time.
right,
But
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. You know, it was kind of a weird space for me as well because um, you know, with things being shut down, I still was kind of moving around a little bit, kind of being able to do things that I didn't think I was going to be able to do.
Yeah,
I was actually involved in two different independent movies at that time,
yeah.
Savage Genesis and The Herb Train. Shout out to Tef Illuminati and Kyan the Lion King, respectively.
Okay.
So yeah, I just it's interesting that some people got to do some things and some people just kind of like, okay, let me just kind of lay low for a hot second
Now we was
and let
definitely
move
moving around.
what I
Yeah,
could do.
yeah. No, we was definitely moving around a lot too, though. Like I went to a couple. I was, I know during the pandemic, I went to Dallas. I went. Where else did I go? Let's see. During the pandemic, I went to Dallas. I went to Oakland. Well, I went to the Bay, like the whole Bay. It was a couple places we went. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like as often as we normally do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Those 2 years, I probably only traveled like 6 to 8 times rather than every week, every month. You know what I'm saying?
so how
Every
did it
month,
look when you were just
nah, I mean it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on the same shit. Some people wearing a mask, some people not. Like just like regular shit. You know what I mean? It was just, you know what I mean? But certain places they wasn't really trying, especially in the beginning. Like it was a weird time where it was like shit was still rocking, but they were saying that you shouldn't be outside, you know? So we was just, moving around.
like I said, you've got some dates coming up. Um, can you talk about some of the dates, some of the areas, or some of the places you go?
Yeah, I know I think June 13th I got Philly, Khyber Pass Pub. I know right now I know I got July 26th, Morristown, New Jersey. Um and I got some things on the table for like New England and some more stuff in the Midwest. So you know what I'm saying? It's a we gonna be we gonna definitely you're gonna see us, man. We're gonna do a nice little run. I don't know where you located, but you know what I'm saying. If you know somebody that's trying to put on a show, tell them to tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? We
No
make it
doubt.
happen. Word.
I'm here in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
you
You in
know,
Fayetteville? Okay.
so
Oh, that's what's
you know,
up. Yeah, no, my what you call it? I'm always in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? I got people's in Charlotte. I'm always in Charlotte. So, but I've been to Fayetteville once or twice before though. Definitely.
definitely. I just did a scene for our documentary, The Underground Experience concert. I did that in Greensboro. You
Yeah,
know,
I've been to
so
Greensboro.
places, spots in Greensboro. I like, Cat's Cradle in Carborough. That's usually definitely a good spot to try to do
Okay.
shows and things like that.
Okay.
Or in Raleigh at like the Lincoln Theater or
Yeah, I done Raleigh
Poorhouse.
before. I done Raleigh before, and I done Greensboro before.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Word.
So, as far as places that you been, is there any place that you hadn't been yet that you would like to go?
Yeah, I mean, last year we got to do a Midwest run, and there was some spots in the Midwest that I wanted to hit that I get. But we did Milwaukee, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Chicago. We did Detroit. But I haven't touched like Ohio yet. Um, I want to do Ohio. I definitely want to like a lot of those Midwest states that people be forgetting about. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've been trying to do more focus because I've done like the South, I've done the West, I've done the East Coast, but like right in the middle. You know, a lot of those spots get forgotten and things like that. So I'm trying to hit all that shit as much as possible. But like I said, I go where they love me, man. You know what I'm saying? If we could do some good business, let's do it, man. You know?
That's what's up. As far as like overseas, is there any other places overseas that you have going it?
Yeah, I mean, I've done like the Kingdom. I've done Europe. If I had, I would definitely have not been to Asia yet. Would love to go to Asia and Australia, even definitely Africa would be like a dream come true because I always wanted to go there. Um, Italy, places like that. You know what I'm saying? Any of the islands, whatever. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm just, what I mean? I've been a lot of places, man. So. I definitely, it becomes an addictive thing. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to see different shit and how different people live. It's a great experience.
Yeah. I just talked to DJ not so long ago, DJ King Flow out of France.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's my
That's
boy.
um, I definitely wanted to go over there. He had actually come to North Carolina, but I just couldn't get free to meet up and you know chop it up with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We just on the last tour we just touched France. We were in Lyon, France. That was actually the first show. So,
yeah, among places
but
like that, I
he's
definitely
in
want to go.
Paris. I haven't been to Paris yet.
Yeah, that's one of those places I'd love to be able to touch down in, and that in Germany and Tokyo, definitely.
Yeah. Word. Now I've done Germany before. I've done all through Scandinavia, Sweden, uh all through Amsterdam. Well, they call it the Netherlands. Um, Denmark, Switzerland. This is Zurich, Switzerland. Damn, so many places, man. It's just hard. It's even like hard to remember. You know what I'm saying? But definitely a lot of places, man.
And as far as artists, some of the artists. Talk about some of the artists that you've collaborated with.
Yeah, like I had said before, Granddaddy IU, uh, Benny the Butcher, PMD, Paris Smith from EPMD. I've been on songs with Nature. I've done a few records with Nature. Been on records with 38 Special. Um, shit, man, it's crazy. Shabam Sadiq, Hus Kingpin, um, Diabolic. Um, man, there's so many people. Tragedy Gaddafi, Greg Nice. Uh, man, it's you know what I'm saying. It's definitely I mean it'd be hard for me to like remember and keep. Raz Cass. You know what I'm saying.
Definitely. Yeah.
Illa G. Um, man, there's probably a few more that I'm forgetting, but
No doubt.
yeah.
Is there anybody else that you would like to collaborate with that you hadn't got to yet?
Um, uh, always want to do a record with Corrupt. I think he's like one of the best. Uh, Rock Marciano, Conway, West Side Gun. Even though I've been on a record with 38 Special, I would like to do a record with 38 Special. I wouldn't mind doing another record with Benny, definitely. Um, and there's a few of them out there. Definitely a few people. I mean, obviously, if I had my way, I have a Jay-Z verse. Everybody want a whole verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I take
no
a
doubt.
whole verse. You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt. No doubt. So
Nas too. Nas too. Nas
yeah,
too.
definitely. Um, you have any advice, what I'm saying, for up and coming artists? You know,
Yeah, I would say. I mean, the number one rule is don't stop. Like, keep working at this shit. Like, no matter what. Like, you can't let none of this shit get in your way. You gotta have tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna make it in this business, man, you have to literally just block whatever out and get. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit going. Keep your shit going. You know what I'm saying? No matter what's going on, people don't care about, you know what I'm saying, what you're going through. They do, but they want to hear it in the music. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Your fans, fans are fickle, man. You take too long without putting out some product and they forget about your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people doing it. Hip hop is so oversaturated. So, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. And
Word.
is there any other people you'd like to shout out before we get out of
Oh,
here?
well, now I would definitely want to shout out the whole Monopoly family. I want to shout out my manager, Digital. I want to shout out Nam Nitty, Rock Wells, Mouth. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out my bro Lease. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my whole team. Shout out to my little cousin Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, same shit, man. We just gonna keep working. We just gonna keep pushing.
And as far as your overview of the whole game, how have you seen it change from when you started till now?
Well, I mean, now, I mean, back in the day, we used to want to like try to get a record deal, but now it's like, for what? You know what I'm saying? You could, you could go out if you know what you're doing. You could go out and make the same thing, if not more. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be more. What's the word I'm looking for? More stable, more of a stable thing rather than like I said before, a quick buck. You know what I mean? If you think about the future, man, you want to make sure that you're getting paid in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you can have a sustainable career where you can continue to go on tour for years and years and years instead of just going on one big tour and then it being over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and that one big blowout, and that's a
Yeah.
wrap. No doubt. Um, as far as getting your stuff to the masses, how do you feel about is streaming versus direct to consumer? Do you feel like direct to
Well,
consumer is definitely a lot better?
well, anytime I put out a project, I always put it on only like Bandcamp and even for like at least 2 weeks. The last time I did a month, you know what I'm saying? And then you give it to the streaming sites because I could, in that month I could make more than I could in 1 month than I could get for a whole year for streaming. You know what I'm saying? So I might as well just take that extra month from streaming and make my money, and then I put it on the streaming, and I don't care what it does. You know what I'm saying?
And as far as your reach, how do you feel like you are able to reach more people, or what would you say about how to reach or
Well,
grow
I
your
mean,
artist?
definitely the traveling and touring. You want to tour and travel if you can. You want to tour and travel with artists that are bigger than you, so that they can put you in front of new people. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know you have good product, all it takes is for them to see you one time, and now you got new fans. So every show I do, every time I come on stage, I check my followers, and there's more people there. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm on stage, I'm telling them what my shit is. You know what I'm saying? So when I come on stage or when I wake up that next morning, you know what I'm saying, from being drunk and having a good night, I I see all these new followers. You know what I'm saying? I would say like even like going to Europe, like I gained like probably like another 200-300 followers while I was on tour, which is great. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I be, man. Like just like I said, it's a grind. You know what I'm saying? It's a grind.
And as
It's
far
definitely a
as
grind.
followers and listeners? Do you feel like you get a little bit more from overseas than you do here, or
Yeah, I mean, when I look at my analytics, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the, what I mean, it's about 50-50. Know, so I get a lot of love in New York. I get a lot of love in like London, Paris, big cities over in the U.S. I mean, over in Europe, and then the big cities here like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, L.A. You know what I'm saying? Places like that, Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I give everybody the same energy. You know what I'm saying?
as far as show performance? How do you feel like you put things together for yourself?
What do you mean?
As far as like not just set work, but just kind of overall, you know, just thought process and what you want to do.
Oh yeah, nah. I mean, we always going in there with a game plan. You know what I'm saying? We always going in there with a game plan. We always gonna make sure we have merch. We always gonna, like I said, it's got to be an experience. So, like I said, we gonna become fam. When you come watch me at a show, we gonna become family. You know what I'm saying? We're going, oh, you know what I mean? And you gonna feel like you was hanging out with your cousin that night. He had you. He made you laugh. He done made you dance. He done made you rap or sing or whatever. Like the whole thing, take you all through there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that's what I'm. That's what I focus on is just making sure that I leave a lasting impression on people. You know what I'm saying? I leave it all up there every single night. I leave it all on stage. You know?
all right. We're coming to the end of the hour. I appreciate you coming on, and we're definitely going to keep up and network more in the future. Look
Okay.
forward to everything you got going on.
Word.
Um,
Thank you, brother.
what's the new project that you're working on that you may have coming out soon?
Well, I definitely need people to go tap in, especially on Bandcamp. Tap in with the Teflonious Monk album. You know what I'm saying? It's about a month and a half old, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But definitely classic material. Go watch both of the videos, Teflonious Monk and Vladimir. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you check out both of those videos and look out for new music. I got a new single out with DJ Mickey Knox called New Breed. That's on all streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you tap in with that. And then make sure you follow me. You can see my Instagram, John_JIGGS. You know what I'm saying? Hit me on all my other platforms. Twitter is or X is Jigs the Great. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it tuned, man. I know I'm gonna be coming to a city near you soon, so make sure you pop out, man. Buy a T-shirt or something. Or
That's what's up. And you're always welcome back. I've been Mr. J, and of course, I always say at the end of the show, nobody knows everything, everybody knows something. So network, network, network. And with
network.
that, we out.
Peace.